Alright guys, so we're going to be looking at this wonderful text, a fairy tale called Melmoth the Crocodile. And while we're doing it, we're going to be focusing on long I and short I vowel patterns. So I'm going to read this first paragraph, and I want you to pay attention to those words that you hear that I or that I sound in there. So let's begin. Let me zoom in for us. Melmoth the Crocodile was the most ferocious creature in the Nile River, and indeed in all of Egypt. When Melmoth swished by, the other animals hurried away as quickly as they could. Now, I want you to notice, in the very beginning, we already see this word. What word do we notice? Crocodile. And crocodile, I'm hearing that sound of an I or an I. So what strategy can I use to read this word correctly and figure out its sound? The ending of this word is something that I remember. It's that vowel, consonant, silent E pattern. So what does that tell me? Well, it tells me that's going to have a long I sound. So I can read it as crocodile. A crocodile is that large reptile that lives in the water. Know the word crocodile is important because this story is about a crocodile. It's going to appear several times in the text. So I'm going to keep reading, and I want you guys to notice any other words that have that I or that I sound in them, and I'm going to underline them. I might miss some because there's a lot, so it's okay if I don't get all of them. Melmoth was gigantic, weighing 500 pounds and stretching 16 feet from nose to tail. Although she mainly ate fish, she could devour everything from zebras to porcupines. Surprisingly, there was something that made Melmoth tremble. She was terrified of the dentist. For a crocodile with 66 teeth, that was an enormous problem. Now, I'm not familiar with a word in this paragraph 3 that I just read. As I try to pronounce it, I recognize something about that IE pattern. What is it that I recognize? I recognize that that makes that long I sound. So now I know how to pronounce the word. I recognize the word terrified. So it's this word right here. That IE that I see right here makes that I sound, terrified. And I know terrified means very afraid. If I wasn't sure of the meaning, the word tremble earlier in the paragraph right here means to shake with fear. And so that's going to be a context clue to help me. Because I know when I'm afraid, I tremble. Now I know that Melmoth is very afraid of the dentist, which is going to be an important detail to the story. So let's keep reading and see what we have. One day, Melmoth was lying on the riverbank with her mouth wide open. A small gray and black bird called a plover perched on Melmoth and scolded. "Those teeth are an invitation to tooth decay. When did you last visit the dentist?" Ashamed, the crocodile admitted, "Years ago." The plover had a proposition. "I'll clean your teeth and get a delicious meal too, but you must keep your mouth wide open. I don't intend to be a crocodile appetizer." Melmoth agreed, and so the bird hopped inside the huge jaws and removed every bit of food stuck between Melmoth's teeth. They sparkled. The grateful crocodile let the plover fly away unharmed, but he had to promise to clean her teeth again. This arrangement continues today. So this one wasn't quite a fairy tale. This is something a little bit different that we're going to talk about, but it matches a lot of our fairy tale stuff with talking animals, but it doesn't have that royalty part. It doesn't begin happily ever after or end with happily ever after, begin with once upon a time, but it does have some elements to it. So now what we're going to do is I'm going to put some of these words that I found into a category of long I and short I. So I'm going to share it with you. I found these words and I put the paragraph number where they were found. So this means it's found in paragraph 1, paragraph 2. And I want you to notice as I read them what category they go in. Crocodile, Nile, gigantic. All of these have that long I sound. So they go in my long I category. What else do we have? Well, porcupines, terrified, I, lying, wide, w-eyed. They also have that long I sound. So I'm also going to put them in my long I category. Pretty simple so far. Now what about this next one? Appetizer, fly. Those ones also have what? That long I sound. So they're all going in this section right here. What else do I have? Well, I have river, fish, dentist, dentist, fish. They're all making that I sound. So these ones are that short I sound that are going to go in this column. Same with 66, invitation, admitted, admit, it. So again, when I stretch those sounds out, I'm hearing that I. So let's keep going. What else? Intended, promise, is. Yeah, they're having that short I sound, that I sound. So as I'm reading, I can try and see if words make sense with that I or that I. So let's look at this one. What if I didn't know intended? I would try it with that long I sound and see if it sounds like a word I've heard. Eintend. I've never heard of eintend before. So then I try it with that I sound. Intend. And I've heard of intend before, so it must be a short I sound. Alright guys, you guys got this. So now what you're going to do is you guys are going to fill out this next part of your digital work. So let me pull it back up for you. You guys are going to fill out this. You're going to record your analysis of Nat's actions in each fable. So what did Nat do in Nat in the Lion? What did Nat do in Nat in the Bull? Then how did he affect other people? So what was he doing that affected the lion? How did the gnat in this one affect the bull? And then our last one is, how did the gnat affect himself? What happened to the gnat because of his actions? So what happened to him in this one? And then how does his actions affect himself here? Our last part is, think about our question, our essential question that we have, which was, how do we reveal ourselves to others? And we're going to put that in our text. Any new ideas? How do we show other people about ourselves? And any ideas you have? How can we show and how do we show? All right, guys, good job.